Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Seize Your Business. Jim Waszak, one of your hosts from Family Heritage, and my co-host, as always,
Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law.
And today our topic is effective onboarding, and our guest is Jamie Sidwell. So, Jamie, why don't you just tell us a little bit of an overview of what you do, and then we'll dive into our topic.
Okay. Well, what I do is recruiting for manufacturing and distribution, mostly supply chain positions, but those supply chain positions sometimes turn into engineering and customer service and sales, and they go in all directions. But I've been doing that for about 20 years, and I also do executive coaching and training for like leaders, for high potential employees and people moving to the next step.
Okay, super. So, this notion of onboarding, I hear a lot of people talking about getting the right people, or they can't find the right people, but I see a lot of times where they get the right people and then they discourage them by not having an effective onboarding system. What would be some of the things you'd encourage people to think about when they're bringing on a new employee and the most effective way to get them into the flow?
Well, onboarding is kind of a trendy term that everybody started using, but companies, some companies are good at it and some companies don't really even understand what onboarding is. When the employee comes in, they want to understand the lay of the land, who they report to, who they get resources from, and things like that. And they are looking for information as far as, just the lay of the building. If I get stuck with something, who am I looking to talk to? Who would I ask questions if my boss is out of town? Because what's happening all the time, especially in manufacturing, what I do, supply chain people are traveling to China all the time. So the bosses are gone. Somebody starts and they don't see their boss for 3 weeks. And they don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
So onboarding sounds like it's a little different from just on-the-job training. It's basically not teaching them how to do their job, but basically teaching them what the company is about, what the resources within the company are, or are training and onboarding and orientation all synonyms for one another?
They all come hand in hand. They do. But the training piece is pretty much a given. I mean, somebody is going to train that employee along the way, right? Pieces that they miss are sometimes helping to onboard even the spouse at home, because a lot of people have relocated.
Yeah.
And the family needs to be happy and understand, what the company offers them. The employee themselves, are just looking for who to connect with, like how to communicate and what meetings they're supposed to be at and that kind of thing. That's the stuff that gets missed, and people feel like a fish out of water. They don't know what to do. So they sit there for a few weeks and then they get discouraged and they still haven't met anyone. They still don't know what their role is. They've been trained a tad, but they could take on a lot more. No one's really watching that workload.
So how do you monitor a workload of a new employee? What are some good systems that you can recommend to people to put in place?
I personally recommend when you're onboarding a new employee that you have a team of people doing it, not just one manager. And that team of people would be like made up of a peer, their direct manager, probably their director over that manager. And all of those people are monitoring, like one might be monitoring the day-to-day tactical. Somebody else might be monitoring, are they reaching objectives? Somebody else from HR, there should be a person from HR in this group. And human resources would be, walking through the benefits and making sure they understand what the company has to offer. If there's, an exercise room or something added that they can use. HR is kind of the one showing them the lay of the office. And then the person over, the director over the hiring manager would just be somebody there for vision.
So do you find, or would you recommend a different procedure for, let's say, a line worker versus a mid-level versus an executive type position, or would you do them all pretty much the same?
I would do them all pretty much the same.
Okay.
I mean, the team of people that's onboarding them might be at a different level. Obviously be different, a different group of people, but I would give them all a team, with select individuals to do a different part, and then everybody's kind of watching that. And if they see somebody who's like, not communicating, not settling in, there's more than just one person that might take note of that.
So what we do at our office is we have an orientation checklist that basically one day I just created it and it links to a bunch of other documents that we're supposed to go through. But we like everyone else are pretty terrible at onboarding. And
well, at least you're honest about it.
yeah, it's always been one of our weaknesses is when we get a new employee, not just throwing them into the fire and letting them kind of get the lay of the land. And the struggle we have is that everyone, usually when you're transitioning in a new employee, it's either because you're growing or somebody important left. So everyone's already like compensating and they don't have the time. No one feels like they have the time to spend a lot of time really focusing on, even if we have a good system, running that system and taking the time to train the new employee. So have you encountered that problem before, and do you have any fixes for it, I suppose?
That's like the loaded question, right? I encounter that all the time because everybody's running so lean, right? I mean, nobody has time to do this, and hiring is kind of an afterthought, onboarding is an afterthought, no. But I would encourage them to really slow down and take the time, because the time to rehire, the loss in losing somebody that you've hired, both financially as well as just the time commitment, is huge. Is huge. And so, again, if you assign a team, it's not one burden for one person. I think the manager has a really tough time keeping up, because it's time off their desk and it's time that they are constantly committing to this person. But if it's a team, they might not have to see this person or spend direct one-on-one time more than once a week or once every 2 weeks, so it's not that big of a time drain. The other thing is from the incoming employee side that I see all the time, they complain that they get there, they're making calls to try to do their job, but no one knows who they are. I mean, they haven't really been announced. Like, hey, Jim is coming in and this is his official role and this is why he's doing these things. And so, they don't have any leverage. People are like, who are you? What's going on? So just that announcement and people coming in to say hello to them, like all of the peers and all of the management staff coming and saying hello and hey, if you need anything, give me a call. I work at the corner desk, that kind of thing, just so that they know where to go and who might be available.
So how do you deal with is there an accountability at the end of the process to say, okay, this person, we've gone through our onboarding process, this person is now onboarded, now you're part of the team, and when the onboarding process is over, and kind of a check-in to make sure they've learned everything they're supposed to learn, that they feel comfortable with everything they're supposed to feel comfortable with. Is that something that you see people do a lot, or is it basically just kind of an ongoing thing until they naturally stop needing to be onboarded?
The truth of the matter that I see is people get onboarded somewhere from 1 day to a week and a half, and then it just falls off. Right? Most companies don't do it long term.
Sure.
My suggestion to be successful is that you have like a 30, 60, 90, and then a 6-month plan. And that at 30 days, you're checking in to feel like if they've got the pieces that they need. Then at 60 days again, conversation between the hiring manager and the employee or maybe the team. And again at 90 days and then at 6 months, just to make sure that they really truly are fitting in and they're feeling like the job is as it was described to them, because that happens too, that it does, it's a little bit different twist. And then they should immediately, in my opinion, become part of the onboarding process for the next person. They should be part of a team. Then, here's what I did, here's what I found out, here's what was missing, and then, everybody on down the line in succession.
So what are some of the questions that you would ask in those meetings, other than, so is everything cool so far, or, do you have some specific questions that you recommend touching base with them?
I think it has to be like customized by the company. But I would say things, depending on what their role is, do you understand what vendors you're supposed to be contacting? Are you understanding the computer systems? What kinds of questions do you have about the computer system? Are you feeling connected to the team?
It's a good one.
Are you feeling like you have the resources from us that you need to be successful? Does your computer work, your phone work, that kind of thing? Asking them if they're getting those resources.
It must be frustrating for a recruiter, whether it's internal or external, to spend all this time trying to find the right people and then have them not succeed because of that. If a new client comes to you and says, I want you to recruit such and such, do you get into that ever with them before you start the project in terms of what their onboarding process would be?
We talk to them about it, yes. Again, some companies take it very seriously and they want a good onboarding process. Some companies are not interested. They're not putting any effort into it. We always offer that we would assist in onboarding if they want us to stay with it. If not, as recruiters, our job is really to bring them the right person that can do the job that is set up, and then once they get in-house, we don't have any control unless they hire us to onboard.
So if someone would like to reach out to you for either executive coaching or for recruiting, how can they reach you?
Number and all of that?
Yes.
However you would like to.
If smoke signals are the way,
Promote yourself however you'd like to.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Somebody can contact me. My business name is Progressive Link, and we're out of Naperville, downtown Naperville, 552 South Washington Street. The number is 630-548-4751, and we are there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. My email as well is sidwell@progressivelink.
Kevin, how about you? If somebody needs legal advice or wants to talk to you?
Sure, so you can call me at 630-324-6666. That's 630-324-6666. We do initial consultations for free, and we practice almost every area of law, and we really care about our clients, so please feel free to give me a call. Jim, how about yourself?
Yeah, he's a good guy. Me, you can reach me at 630-272-3895. As you probably know, I primarily sell supplemental cancer insurance, but I do a couple other things. And on May 3rd, I'm doing a workshop, Improv Skills for the Business Professional. It's a blast, and you learn to be much more comfortable in front of groups and with other people. So if you're interested in either of those things, call me at 630-272-3895.
We've done over 100 of these now, so if you want to watch a lot more videos or podcasts, you can go to go to seizeyourbusiness.com. If you want to get a legal blog, podcast, and video blog that we do, go to learn-about-law.com. And I'm doing a new real estate podcast and video blog called makingrealestatefun.com. So thanks so much for your information.
Yes.
Thank you
Jamie.
for listening.
Thank you.